In this video, we're going to be discussing the 5 most common swing mistakes I see amateur golfers making that you could be doing right now that could hold you back from playing your best golf this 2025 season. If your game is currently in a rut, this video is for you. You're going to have a greater understanding on what you need to do to improve to gain consistency on a golf course. Common mistake number 1 I see is the inability for the common golfer to sit up to the golf ball with a consistent process every time. This starts with gripping the club correctly. Normally I see with my students that they don't have it running through the fingers. They have it running through more of the palms, which prohibits the way they hinge the club and let it deliver down into the golf ball. So my suggestion is you pick a grip strength that is meant for your ball flight goals, meaning the strength of it needs to be at least 3 knuckles. And then when you do grip this club, you start from the fingertips, wrap the lead hand on top, and make sure that your V is pointing towards your trail shoulder or your trail ear. When you invite your right hand on, make sure that that hand equals the same strength as your lead hand. We don't want one hand strong and then one hand weak. We want both the hands to work with equal strength so that we have a consistent release throughout the golf ball, which is going to help you with your club face control. Second, distance away from the golf ball. Common golfer struggles with this a lot. They tend to get either too close or too far away. This is a quick checkpoint that you can do in order to see if your proper distance away from the golf ball is meant for your swing. When you're setting up in your initial posture, take off your trail hand and go back to your right hip. Allow it to come back. If it grips the club the same exact way, you are in perfect distance away from the golf ball. If I was too far away from it and took off my hand, you can see how it does not return to my initial position. If I'm too close, my right hand's going to go over the grip. So that's just an easy way that you could tell if your distance is correct for your golf swing. And finally, we need to make sure that we are balanced and in an athletic posture to produce a great motion on this golf ball. What I look for when my students address the golf ball has to do with shoulders a few inches over toes, an armpit line going through the middle of my feet, and my butt line a few inches behind my heels with a little bit of knee flexion. In terms of the arch of my back, I obviously don't want to pull in my belly button too much, nor stick it out in this direction. I want my lower to mid back to be flat with this club with my neck slightly arched, which is going to allow my body to rotate naturally around my axis to create an athletic motion on this golf ball. Common error number 2 that I see is the inability to properly rotate our spine in the backswing and in the downswing. A powerful golf swing starts with a nice pivot. Our ability to load into our trail hip while getting the left shoulder to turn around our body and downwards is going to set up the club to allow it to be on plane and to deliver this down into the impact zone. Too many times I see my students make a fake turn, meaning they stop their body and they lift their arms to the top and get completely disconnected. I would rather them turn big but still have a compact arm swing, which leads to connection and allows them to uncoil all of this stored energy into the golf ball for compression and better ball striking. A great drill that I want you to do is put this club across your chest, focus on turning your hips behind you while that left shoulder goes down, and then in the downswing, replace that right shoulder going downwards as that left hip moves around your body. If you can do this 100 times a day during the winter months, this is like flossing for your golf swing, and I can guarantee your motion is going to be way better when the spring months hit. Common fault number 3 that I see from the amateur golfer has to do with them throwing their shoulder in transition with improper sequencing. This will result in an over-the-top, outside-in swing, which affects about 80% of golfers. Instead, we need to change how our body responds to hitting the golf ball. Instead of us getting upper body dominant to start the downswing, we need to feel a slight bump of the hips to begin the downswing, followed by rotation of the lower body, making sure that we are patient with our upper body until the lower body clears. The lower body is supposed to drive in the downswing, pushes back with the left hip, allowing for the hips to rotate and clear with the upper body and arms following down into the impact zone. This will allow you to be way more shallow than you having the upper and lower body connected coming down into impact in this position. If you do struggle with firing your hips in the downswing and getting that proper downswing sequence, the lower body over the upper body, then this is a drill that you can do. All you're going to do is go to a door frame in your house. You're going to allow your left arm to be straight, and you're going to put your right hand on top of this for support. You're going to work on allowing your lower body to separate as that chest stays back behind you. That's going to allow you to fire your hips first rather than you taking your hands off and getting over the top. From this position, it would look like this. You can see how my left hip wants to separate from my upper body rather than this happening in the downswing, which causes steepening motion in your over-the-top golf swing. Do that winter drill and understand that sequence of events in transition, and I can guarantee you're going to get rid of your slice. Common mistake number 4 has to do with this club hitting the exact same spot on the ground during your downswing. The ability to not hit fat and thin shots is going to allow you to make better contact and to also maximize your distance when hitting a golf ball. There are 3 parts that I want to break it up to when it comes to low point consistency. Number 1, the ability for you to recenter your body in the downswing. As we talked about, the first move is a slight pressure shift of your hip bumping towards the target with your body relocating more ahead of the golf ball. Impact does not happen at the golf ball. It actually happens a few inches in front. That's why I place this stick right here. It is our ability to be able to get our weight going more left and cover the golf ball in the downswing in order to move our low point more forward. What I don't want you to do in your backswing and downswing is to sway off the golf ball too much and hang back on this trail side, which is going to result in no power and contact back here behind the golf ball. Instead, make sure you transfer your weight to the left. Second element has to do with proper wrist mechanics and the ability to release that lag coming down to the golf ball. If the left arm is able to stay straight in the backswing and downswing, there's a very good chance that you're going to control your low point consistently. Besides you locking out the left arm, we need to be able to form leverage with the club by hinging our wrist in the backswing with the left arm extended, and then releasing and snapping those wrists down into the impact zone while the left arm is straight. The worst golfing advice you can get is to keep your eye on the golf ball the whole time. This is going to prohibit your body to rotate and allow its axis to be able to turn through the golf shot, which is going to allow you to not have fat misses where your body gets stuck and your arms get thrown into the golf ball. Instead, we need to have freedom as we shift our weight and rotate to be able to snap our wrist and to have this left side extend as our body wants to finish towards the target with the arms extended going through impact. So in order to control that low point to move it forward, let's focus on opening up that body towards the target, which is going to get our weight more left and allow our arms to straighten at the moment of impact. Mistake number 5 I see with the amateur golfer has to do with trying to crush this golf ball. Instead of us trying to hit it as far as we can, if we have the proper tempo in our swing, we are going to have an effortless strike into the golf shot, which is going to allow us for better consistency. A rule of thumb that you can do when hitting golf balls has to do with counting inside of your head between your backswing and your downswing ratio. What I do with my students is to tell them to voice in their head going 1 in the backswing, 2 at the top, and then when they get down to impact, make it 3. This will allow you to have consistent timing and tempo and allow your sequence to be rhythmic. It should look like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You now have a correction to the 5 most common problems that golfers face, which are going to gain you consistency in your game and save you years of frustration. In order to correct your slice even more and to have a better understanding of that part of your game, I just released a video on how to shallow the golf club, which is going to completely eliminate your slice. If you are still struggling with that subtopic, I put it in the video right here. Thank you for watching. I ask you to press like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video.